Hello, African Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and the message reads like this. Hello, my brother Nanshi. How are you? The last time when we started talking, I was still in the United Kingdom, but as for now, I am in Zimbabwe. Last time, I said that I was tired of this spiritual husband that always comes to me and sleep with me. And this was already affecting me and my husband. I have tried to use a lot of herbal remedies, but all those remedies that I have tried to use, all of them, they do not work. That is why I have decided to contact you. That is why I have decided to contact you again. This thing, it is affecting my husband. When this problem of spiritual husband started happening to me, it didn't affect my husband. But now the thing that happens to my husband is that whenever he tries to have intercourse with me, then early in the morning when he would wake up, you will see that a lot of yellowish discharge would be coming from his manhood, something that is called drop. He has been suffering with this thing called drop and other STIs, Brother Nashi. But what surprised me is that me and my husband, we are both faithful. I know that I am faithful. I know that a lot of people will say that maybe your husband is cheating on you. But I know that my husband is a faithful man because I am also a faithful woman. But we don't know where all of these STIs are coming from. The first time when this thing happened, we were on a vacation and I was pregnant at that time. But when he saw that early in the morning he had this STI called drop, he insisted that it meant that I was cheating. He was really angry that I had infected him with an STI. But who would I have cheated on whilst we were on this long vacation and I was pregnant at that time? Why would I ever cheat on my own husband whilst we are on a long vacation and being pregnant at the same time? But my husband insulted me and he was angry because he thought that indeed I was cheating on him and I had slept with a man who was infected with an STI. Therefore, I had infected him with drop. We went and we got treatment and everything went quiet for a while. But from that time, I think that me and my husband, we stayed together for a whole year without having intercourse, without touching each other. What we would do is that we will just go to bed. No one would touch each other, no kissing. Even though we were a married couple, we never even bothered to tell each other that I love you. This thing happened for a whole year. After that, we tried again to revive our love. But what we noticed is that each and every time, like a day that we would plan to have intercourse, we would fight so much. Sometimes I'll be at my workplace and my husband will be at his workplace. We'll be speaking with each other via WhatsApp and everything will be fine between us. The moment that we tell each other that we have not done this deed for a very long time, tonight we have to try to do it again. We'll just fighting for no reason at all, and we would fight so much that one of us will threaten the other one with divorce. Afterwards, we all started dreaming having intercourse. In my dream, I'll be having intercourse with one of my relatives. Sometimes I would even wake up in the middle of the night and I will see that my husband's manhood will be erect as if he's about to have intercourse. And I would wake him up because we were people that would have intercourse after a very long time. Whenever I would wake up and when I would see that his manhood is erect, I would wake him up and I would say, please honey, can we try to do this whilst your manhood is still erect? And the moment that he would get on top of me, his manhood will just sleep and lose all of its power. The day that my husband realized that all of these things that were happening to us, it was just spiritual, even though he had accused me of being a cheating wife. It was on the day when me and him, we had spent the whole month without having intercourse. Then one morning, He just called me to the bathroom. Then he said, look at me. And I saw that there was a yellowish discharge that was coming from his manhood. And we knew that this thing that was happening to us, it was a spiritual thing. But what happened is that before he got this STI again, the previous night I had a dream, and in my dream I saw my mother-in-law, my grandmother, and my other uncle, and they were all naked. But my father's younger brother was busy wiping his manhood, showing that he had just finished having intercourse with me. My grandmother and my mother-in-law were busy having intercourse with my own husband. Brother Nashi, when they were walking out of our bedroom, I just heard voices talking, but the voices that were talking, it seemed as if they were so far away from our bedroom, but I could hear everything that they were saying. The person who was speaking said, oh, I forgot to wipe his manhood. I have left poison on his manhood. That is when I woke up. My husband was in the bathroom and he called me and he showed me his manhood. When he showed me his manhood, as he was squeezing it, I saw that there was a yellowish discharge that was coming from his manhood. We went back to the hospital. Here in the UK, they don't believe in this spiritual stuff. Our doctor just told us that we need to be careful. If there is anyone of us who has extramarital affairs, at least they should use protection. The reason why that doctor said this, he does not believe in these spiritual things. So he just thinks that maybe my husband is cheating or I am cheating. We were both treated, but I know that if we try to have intercourse with each other again, this STI will return and it will affect my husband. On that morning, when my husband showed me that there was a lot of yellowish discharge that was coming out of his manhood, I didn't even accuse him of cheating on me. I was sensitive enough and I had my own suspicions. It is like I knew where all of these spiritual attacks were coming from, because when I went to my grandmother's place, she said, come here. Then she took me to her bedroom. And when we were in her bedroom, she told me to hold a clay pot that she had pulled out from somewhere. Then she said that this clay pot, if you hold it, it is going to make your life better and your journey to the UK, it is going to be better. But when she wanted me to hold that clay pot, Brother Nashi, I refused and I said, Grandma, why do you want me to hold this clay pot? Then she said, if you refuse to touch it, when you are at the immigration, when you have arrived in the UK, the immigration officer might end up asking you, where is the passport for the child that you are carrying on your back? And you will be deported because they will say that you are carrying a child on your back who doesn't have a passport. So hold this clay pot. Because of fear, I then held that clay pot. I was just afraid of everything that my grandma had told me. But when I held that clay pot, I felt that it was really hot. And when I looked inside, it was as if there were coals of burning fire that were inside that clay pot. When me and Grandma were in her bedroom, she had turned off all of the lights and it was dark in her bedroom. After she had told me to hold her clay pot, that is when I saw that inside the clay pot there were coals of burning fire. But I think that my mom knew, because I had my mom and my grandma whispering to each other before we went to the airport. When I was here in the UK, whenever I would have bad luck or if I would fight with my own husband, I would tell my grandma and my grandma will just say, fly back to Zimbabwe. Then she will never give me any reasons at all. She will just go quiet, or I'll just have a dream of her each and every day. Finally, Brother Nashi, I then decided to fly back to Zim. But Brother Nashi, what my grandmother told me left me speechless. My grandmother, Brother Nashi, said that my granddaughter, I have grown up, as you can see. I am now old. I want you to know that when I die, you are the one whom I have decided to leave this clay pot with. And this clay pot, you cannot deny it. You can't reject it. all these problems that you are facing, I am really sorry. I didn't tell you. The reason why you are facing all of these problems in your life, it is because you are refusing to work with me. Whenever I visit you in your dreams, why do you try to fight me or my granddaughter? Just agree and everything is going to be okay. After my grandmother told me all of this shocking confession, I went straight to my mother and I told her. When I told my mother that grandmother had just confessed to me all of this scary stuff, I expected that my own mother was going to fight in my corner because this was not a normal confession. But you know what my mother did, Brother Nashi? She said, please, I don't want to get involved in matters concerning my own daughter and my own mother. And if you know what is best for you, you should keep quiet too. You should never tell any of your relatives, because if you fight against grandma, you will never be able to return back to your job in UK. Please advise me, people. I am supposed to fly back to the United Kingdom before 2 October. Please help me. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from Anonymous. Then I had to ask one of our admins to give us a translation. That was a translation of a message that I received. Please let us talk about this issue in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.